You just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hit you on the one with no delay. Because it's the fighter's voice.
The Fighter's Voice.
With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
It's the only voice that matters, and I'm going to cut right to it. We have our guest, former Bellator women's first ever champion of the world, Zoila Frausto. We have her with us live. How are we doing, Zoila?
I'm good, man. I'm as good as I can be doing, I guess, at this time. Besides, my cheeks are a little bigger and the rest of my body.
Well, me too, so I'm not tripping either. I'll blame it on the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I will. And actually, we lost LeVar Johnson, who was supposed to join us today, but we had some technical difficulties, and he may join us as the show continues to proceed. So I want to talk to you about, I've never talked to you about the whole, let's start from ground zero, man. I mean, it may not be ground zero, but it was one of your biggest accomplishments, being champion of the world. And not only that, the first female champion for Bellator. Let's talk about that whole experience and how that bracket fell right into place. But at the end of the day, you still had to perform.
Man, that was it was crazy. It was a crazy experience at a time. To this day, it's still kind of like a dream come true to me. I never saw myself in that tournament. I never saw myself winning the world title. It all kind of just fell into place. I was in the right place at the right time, and I knocked out the right girl at the right time, and then that's how I got in the tournament. Fought a bunch of girls that I wasn't supposed to beat, and I came out on top. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I had only been fighting at that point in time, but when I won the world title, it had been 18 months up until the time that I had been fighting. So right. Everybody in that tournament was way over the top when it came to experience on me. That tournament, like I said, I only been fighting for 18 months. At the end of that tournament, I had been maybe fighting a little over a year and a half. When I started in that tournament, I had nothing to lose. So it was like, just go out there and have fun. And that's what I did. I went out there, I had fun. I knew I was going to be athletic. I knew I was going to be hard to beat. I knew it was going to be hard to get down on the ground, and I knew I was going to be bigger and stronger than all those girls. So I just tried to do everything I possibly could to win every time, and I did.
Well, what was that experience like once they put that strap around your waist? Once they declared you women's world champion?
Oh man, I was so I was just relieved. I was so emotional. Because I had worked so hard from the weight cuts to after camp, so many ups and downs at that time. Even from the weight cuts were so a lot of it coming up into those fights. I didn't really remember them. I'd cut so much weight that it was crazy. I was going to sleep having nightmares, thinking about I overate or I ate too much. I'm not going to make weight. Like I would have nightmares of not making weight, and just stuff like that. Is just that I drove myself almost insane coming up into that last tournament final, and when it was all said and done, and I finally got my hand raised, it was just like relief. Oh my God, everything was worth it. Like it was so much emotion. Mentally, I was all over the place. I had beat my body to that entire tournament. So I was just relieved. I was happy. I was just ecstatic. I was on the top of the world. I felt like I was on top of the world, and I was. I mean, it's not really a thing that I could exactly explain to a T. It was just an amazing experience, and I was so happy and proud of myself for one.
So let's talk about that giant check you're holding afterwards. You don't got to get into numbers, but what's the first thing you bought yourself?
It wasn't a giant check. It was a little check, and the money was pretty much used already.
Oh, but I've heard some figures. You know, I don't know how accurate they were, but I don't ever share anybody's numbers. I was just curious. What was the first thing?
It wasn't it wasn't that big of a check. I got all the men before me, like I said before, they got $100,000 checks out of 8 tournaments. Every single man before me got $100,000 check. At the end of the tournament, I got a $20,000 check. That $20,000 check barely covered the camp, barely covered the fights before that, because that's all I got was a total of $20,000 for 4 fights. 4 fights in a matter of, I think it was like 6 months. When you're a professional athlete, you have a lot of money to pay out for camps, for managers, for coaches, travel, because I was going back and forth from Ohio to California. That money was pretty much gone. By the time I was finished, I had a little money left, and the money that I had left, my ex ended up surprising me with a car, and I was like, "What the hell is? Like, don't you think I would have bought myself a car?" Like, and it wasn't a great car. It was a little CTS. It was a lot older. It was like, I think it was like 5 or 6 years old, and it was with my own money. I was like, "What the hell?" So the only thing I got out of it was a car that I pretty much bought for myself, but it was a surprise from my ex because he had access to the money. So, other than that, like the money at that point in time didn't mean much to me, obviously, but the feeling and everything that I took with it after that was just amazing. Nobody can ever take that away from me. Accomplishment, what I've done, I'll go down in history with that, and that's what means more to me than anything else. But yeah, the money wasn't that much, and by the time I came to that tournament final, that money was all gone.
So basically covered your expenses, but you know what? There's no value on your award, and that was that bout, and that was being in the history books as the first ever female Bellator world champion.
Yeah, it's something I can take with me forever. The money and everything comes and goes, but that I'll be able to take with me forever. So nobody can take it away.
You know what? All these people, and I'm going to talk about the other half of your career. I mean, you have some fights getting ready to get set up, and then all of a sudden these girls pull out or something happens. I'm thinking they got the coronavirus before it was even called the coronavirus. I mean, actually, that question's from Mike Rutha. He wanted me to throw that at you to make you smile a little bit, because I know how much you worked your ass and you busted your ass off just to get that shot. Supposedly going to go down in Fresno or even Stockton, and it never happened. And being able to move forward from that, I mean, mentally, man, where do you get that toughness from?
There's no quit. Like, I mean, what other option did I have? Like, I'm gonna retire on the spot and do something else? No. Like, I loved doing this, and those camps, it wasn't just 1 or 2 fights. It wasn't just Stockton and Fresno. There was 6 fights, and it wasn't just girls pulling out. There was a lot of other things besides girls pulling out that happened. From what I heard, there was a budget thing, and it's like, and they were telling me one thing, and I was hearing another, and it was just so many things. It wasn't just, but it was 6 fights in a row. I think it was like within 7 months that I was scheduled for. And it's like, you understand how much money I put into these camps? You understand how much work I put into these camps? I have been busting my ass day in, day out, straight camp pretty much since before the year before that, So I was just like, what the hell, man? And then when I finally asked for a release, I was like, after the 6th time, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I need a release so I can fight somewhere else. This is my livelihood. This is how I make my living, and if you cannot get me in there to fight, I'm not making any money. And not only that, but I didn't work half of tax season because I was in camp. And I told them too, I was like, I can't work after February, mid-February, or I can't fight after mid-February, but they kept scheduling me. They scheduled me late February, they scheduled me March, they scheduled me April. And I'm like, dude, come on, I can't do that. It doesn't work like that. But I was like, okay, fine. And did not fight, man, I was so frustrated. So after that last fight falling through, the 6th fight, I was like, I need out. I need out of my contract. And I loved fighting for them, but it was harder to fight for them than even before that. Before the last 2 fights, it's like I was supposed to fight in LA, I was supposed to fight in Stockton. It's like one after another. It's like, it can't just be all these girls backing out. No, I get it. Yeah, outside of the UFC, it's going to be hard to find me fights. But there are a lot of girls that want to fight me, and I know I get the messages, you know. But for whatever reason, they either don't want them to fight me or they don't have the budget. Who knew? Who really knew the truth behind it? But I wasn't happy about it, you know. And when I was finally able to get out of that contract, then boom, this whole coronavirus hit. And I had signed a deal with Glory to fight in Miami at the end of May. And then as soon as this whole thing hit, they canceled that. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? 7 fights I was scheduled for in a row. And no fight for me. And dude, it's disheartening, man. Like, I wanted to fight, and I'm at the tail end, of my career for my own self. Like, I want to be done eventually soon, you know. I don't want to do this forever. And I want to be done while I'm still, you know, ahead. I don't want to be done when I should have been done a long time before that, you know. So I give myself a certain number of years, and time has been ticking, you know, since I've been with them. And it's like, I need to fight, and now it's like, okay, well, I don't even know when I'm going to fight again, so who knows? Everything's just kind of up in the air right now. But it's frustrating, but all I could do is be grateful for what's in front of me, for my family, for the things I'm still able to do. I'm healthy, you know, I'm not injured, and even if I was, you know, I'd have plenty of time to heal. But yeah, all I could do is focus on the positive and just try to do things that better myself every day. So that's it, really.
Well, you know what, Zoila, you got a great attitude, and you know, a lot of weaknesses come from the human being is our mental part. Is one is our patience. Letdown is always critical because it deals with a broken heart. Because I mean, your heart is set on performing, but one thing I'll speak for myself, but as humans, patience and controlling our temper when things don't go our way, and
I've never been good at either of those.
Well,
but throughout the years, I've been a little better, obviously, because catch me a few years ago, or at least, you know, 5-6 years ago, and it would not be the same. Catch me 10 years ago, and something like this would have happened. Man, I would have blew a head gasket. So yeah, I've been practicing my patience and my attitude in check. You know, just my temper, all that stuff, you know, but that comes along with being Mexican, so it's like it's always going to be there in case I need it. But, you know, right now, like, okay, I'm getting older, I need to relax and be happy somehow.
Well, before I move on from that, I will say this. There's nothing more frustrating when it's out of your control. I mean, when it's something that you can't control, there's really nothing you can do but just sit there and, okay, you're a fan of Bruce Lee, right? I'm sure you are.
Yes.
Okay. There's a part where he's fighting all these guys all at one time. I mean, he's fighting them all. It was on, I think it was the Dragon. So when he figured, you know what, he was outnumbered, what do? He just sat down because he knew he was outnumbered. He couldn't win. He wasn't going to waste any energy, and he just sat there and, you know, not surrendering, but I mean, why fight and get killed? Because he was outnumbered. So sometimes I'm just sitting down because there's nothing I can do. But man, I just want things so perfect. Just like everybody else, I just want things but when I can't control them, there's nothing I can do. And I'm trying to control that. I'm trying to better that. But you know what? When I hear your testimony of blowing fuse, I don't feel so bad. So now I know it's just not.
We're all human. We're only human. And not only that, but if you're striving to be the best you can every day for so many years, and it's in you, you know, it's kind of hard not to get a little frustrated here and there. It's kind of hard, you know, to get a little impatient sometimes. You're going to be angry. If you want to see things, you're working towards things, it's going to get, every now and then you're going to hit something that's just, you know, going to rub you wrong one day, or, you know, there's going to be a little tension here and there. You wouldn't be human if you didn't, you know, and I've actually kind of learned to accept that a little bit and just take it as it comes and just go through it. Just go through it. Go instead of kind of just pushing it to a side and, oh, be positive. You can't be positive all the damn time. Just, you got to ride the wave, man. You got to ride the wave. And that's pretty much what I've been trying to do. It's just ride the wave.
No, that's good. And you're doing a good job. I mean, honestly, you're in good spirits, and you got a great attitude for all the roadblocks that you've hit, but you continue to push forward. And honestly, I've said it before, you know, I've reached out and told you, I still honestly believe that you have something at the end of the rainbow. There's something special waiting for you. I don't know what it is, but I feel it every time I talk to you.
I hope so. I hope so. If not, you know, I've lived a pretty good career. I've lived a pretty good life. I can't complain, man. I mean, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot worse. There's a lot of people that don't, that aren't following their dreams. A lot of people that gave up on them, and I'm doing fairly well, I think, with everything that has happened, and it's still not that bad. My problems aren't as big as they could be, so I'm good.
No, very well said. Hey, I got a question. This question is from Joe Valero from Madera, California. He told me to ask you, what was it like sharing the cage with Cupcake?
Misha, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, what was it like? What do you remember most about that?
I remember being really angry. So, I mean, back then it wasn't really like she was a huge star. For MMA, she was, she was getting up there. It was just, for me, the way that fight came up was, she called me out, and I was like, and I was a nobody back then. And for me, it was like, you have pretty close to 25. I had like 3 or 4. Why are you calling me out? And then she started talking shit, and I'm like, you don't even know me. Why are you talking shit? So of course, me back then, I was like, no, I was so pissed off. And of course, I let the emotions get to me. So I was pissed. I was pissed that entire camp. I was pissed going into that fight. I like pretty much ran straight at her. I was so mad. I just wanted to knock her head into like the 3rd row. So, but afterwards, like, I understood what she did. She was like, you'll off for the ratings. And I was like, you bitch. Like, and I mean, she played the game well, and she got into my head, and I was angry. I went in there with emotion as the worst possibly, and it was great to fight her, at that point in time, because she had way more experience than I did at that point in time. She was a lot bigger, and though she didn't feel strong, like, I knew she was technically better, and I could feel it, so that for me it was humbling, and I knew that I needed to work on the things that I did up until that point, which was jiu-jitsu and wrestling, because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So it was a great experience because I needed it, and I needed to learn that there's more strength and conditioning and striking in MMA, and the whole mental part of it too. So it was a great lesson for me from her, but yeah, I was not happy. I was not happy about it at all.
You know what? You recovered from your knee injury, and one door was closed and then another one was open. Well, first of all, because it was rumored that a lot of people didn't know if you were going to be physically able to fight again. And since that knee injury, you were able to get back in shape, get the knee strong, and not only fight again, but be victorious. And your last victory in Fresno, California, I mean, that had to be something special for you. What was going through your mind as far as emotionally and spiritually?
For that fight, and when it came to the injury, and though was I had the ACL surgery the second time, I didn't even put it in my head as that big of an obstacle because I had to deal with it before, and I knew that I was going to get past it. I just had to go with it, take the little steps I needed to take those little victories every single day, getting better, learning how to walk again, pivoting, moving, doing different things, making it stronger. I knew I was going to fight again. It was, getting those little steps to be able to win again. That fight in Fresno that I did win against Jamie Rivera was big to me because she had fought my sister. She came in overweight. There was a lot of backstory to that, and the way she came off that fight, so disrespectful, jumping up and down. It's like you came into another weight class. Now you're in my weight class. And just the way that she was super respectful, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I knew going into that fight that I had to take emotion completely out of it, because when it comes to me and family, they're above and beyond anything else to me. So I knew if I went in there as pissed off and as much as I wanted to kill her, it was going to go wrong. Like I was talking about the whole Misha part, or the whole Misha thing. And like Jessica, I was mad in that fight too. So it was like, I couldn't take mentality like that into this fight. And I knew that the way I felt about her was a lot worse than the way I felt about any other girl I've ever fought, because what I saw with my own eyes and what I witnessed and how I felt inside. So I knew I had to do everything I possibly can to calm my nerves, take emotion out of it, be mentally clear, focus on just going in there, having fun. Hey, because I can fight again. Going in there and proving to myself more than anything that I can do this. Not only can I do this, but I was the best in the world more than once, and I can do it again. I wanted to prove to myself that I still had it. And I went in there, and everything was just clear. Everything, like walking out, I was happy. I was like feeling it, like even her music. I was feeling her music, and then my music came on, and I was like, yeah, call my name, and the crowd went crazy, and I was just like, this is what I love to do. I cannot believe I'm walking out again, no matter what happens. Like, this is amazing. Like, I love this shit. And I walked in there and I saw everything. Like, whether she hit me or not, I was like, I got this. And then she rushed in for a takedown, and I was like, no. I can hear my coach, Darren Oyama, in the corner telling me to pick up the elbow and like to move her. And as soon as I shifted her, it was over. Throwing knees, elbows, and I could tell it was breaking her. She did not like it. I seen her like take a breath and was like, oh shit. And then she tried to rush in. I ended up teeping her, caught her in the liver, and she could not breathe. And as soon as I saw her like stop moving, I was like, here we go. And every little thing that I thought about, everything that angered me about her, I finally was just like, okay, kill mode. And I just went straight in. I put everything I possibly could. All that emotion finally came out in one point at the end of that fight, and I was like, done, finished. So yeah, it was a crazy fight for me, emotionally, mentally. Like I was more on in that fight than I think I've ever been in my entire career. Because I had to be. I had to have mental clarity, or it wasn't going to work out. And I've proven to myself that if I take emotion in fights, or if I do, things the wrong way, that it's just not going to work out. So I knew that I had to be straight for that one.
We talked off camera about, you being from Madera, California. I'm from Madera. And Big LeVar Johnson was also going to join us. He's from Madera, California. Yeah. And Richard, I love Madera, but in order to get better, in order to raise the bar to your career, you had to make a move, and you made a career move. How tough was that, and how rewarding was it coming back, being in this era a household name?
It was tough, like I had a lot of people that I worked with in the past, the teams that I was with, and the teammates that I had, looking at me like, oh, so you have to go somewhere else to get better. And it's like, yeah, that's how we evolve. Like, it's not like I'm just completely leaving you. Like, I need this for myself. I need to evolve. I need to get better. The game is evolving. Things are getting better. I need to do that for myself. And a lot of people that I actually worked with in Fresno that I started with didn't like it very much. So there was a little bit of bad blood when I left. But coming back, I kind of mended a lot of those relationships. I do it, and I was thankful for them, for being a major part of my career. It wasn't just me that became the world champion, that day. It was them. They all played part in my journey and helping me get there. And I had to make sure that they knew it, and so now it feels good, because a lot of people understand now that, I had things I had to do to get to the places that I needed to get to, but I'm still from Madera, I was raised there, born there, and I rep them, and I had to make a move, but I came back. So it's like, don't be too mad, like I had to do what I had to do, and it worked out, so yeah.
Well, I got a question, and this is a tough one. How many athletes do you see in our town, in our area, and they got the potential, but they're not going to leave Madera, and you say to yourself, almost whisper to yourself, dude, you're not going to get any better unless you leave, unless you cut those ties. You can have a professional trainer, or you can have your compa train you. What do you want to do? Do you want your face on a poster and a T-shirt? Is that what you want, or do you really want to get better? How many times have you said that to yourself without saying names or anything?
I could probably count them on one hand. I could probably count them on one hand. Yeah. It's some people see it as loyalty. Some people see it as can you see me? Some people see it as loyalty, and it's not. It's not just that. It's, yeah, you can still be loyal to the people that you started with. I carry them on my back still, but you got to do what you have to do to get better, to evolve. And some people get that mixed up, and it's not like that. But what can you do? Some people, you can only what's the saying? You can only show the horse to the water. Can't make them drink it.
No, absolutely. So, what kind of water it is too.
Yeah.
right? You got to give
Yeah.
that to get better. How tough a decision was it for Stephanie to join you and kind of head the same direction you were heading? Because I mean, she had potential. She fought very young. She was very young, and it's like today, after all those years, today I'd have to say it's safe to say she's at her very best today.
Oh, Stephanie has surpassed me years ago. I don't think it was really that hard of a decision for her. I think she saw herself doing the same thing. Like if she would have stayed in Madeira, she probably would have had like 10 kids by now. And who knows? You know, she just saw success in it, and it made her happy too. You know, she was doing something different that she was used to. So, and you know, hey, if you can do that with the sibling, why not? You know, so it was just. I wouldn't say so much that she followed my footsteps, but she liked it, you know, and she wanted to do it, and she's successful at it as well. And I mean, you know, her record and her and everything that all the championships that she's won, she's an amazing athlete, not just a fighter, you know. So yeah, she's been nice. It's been really nice.
You know, I've seen you smile with your hands up, and as if to say, I'm relieved that you got the victory. But I see a different look when your sister was victorious. I mean, there's just that passion. It's at a different level. How true is that statement? Very true.
Family means so much to me. So when they're successful, especially Stephanie, because she's been so close to me all these years. You know, we've lived with each other since she was right out of high school. You know, so. And we've always been really close. We've done the same things. You know, we like the same things, even though we're different and we're kind of growing apart because we're different human beings. But to see her succeed, man, especially in this, it makes me ecstatic. I am so happy. Like I can do that. I can do that for myself all day. And, you know, and I've been an athlete all my life. So, you know, it's just kind of normal and natural for me. And of course I want to be happy because I work so hard and I know what I need to do. But to see her do that, especially where she started and where she's come from and how much she's achieved, man, it's out of this world. Like I'm so proud of her. Like I can't even begin to explain how proud of her I am. Every single day she's growing, she's getting better, and she has to work that much harder. You know, she's a black belt now, Muay Thai champion, like she's an MMA champion. So she's done more than I have at this point, you know, and I couldn't be prouder of her because and there was a point in time where it was like she was in my shadow, and now she's far beyond that. There's no shadow. There's Stephanie Frausto and there's Zoila Frausto. We are two totally different people. We have succeeded, you know, and a bunch of different things, you know. But she's a lot better at jiu-jitsu. She has a world title in MMA. She has titles in Thai, you know. So to see her be successful, you know, it's a powerful thing, and especially that, you know, we're from the same family, we're sisters. She's 7 years younger than me. I love him, man. It's an amazing feeling to have a sibling, somebody that I love so much, succeed like that. I couldn't be happier.
I mean, because you said, you know what? Hey, you said, you know what? I got a couple more years, and then you're gonna do something else. That's what you said. But you're gonna leave on your. But you're really never gonna leave because Stephanie's still gonna be fighting. How's position going to change? Are you going to go from sister, or are you to the corner? Are you going to be one of her sparring partners? What position will you take that you have that availability to concentrate more on helping your sister, because Zoila Frausto retired after winning the belt again?
Whatever she wants. You know, it's her career, so it's her choice. If she wants me to be around and be in her corner for as long as she goes, then I'll be there. If not, then I won't, you know. But I mean, just to be there for her is huge. So whatever she wants, it's her life, you know, and it's her career. So I'll be there for her in any way, shape, and form she needs me.
Exactly. So I'm gonna let you go because I know you got to get
the charger on here.
Oh, okay. Make sure you cut off. Listen, I'm gonna couple more questions before I let you go because I know you got to get on the road. How was your Mother's Day spending it with your mom and family?
Oh man, it's great. Like just to be able to be with my mom. for all this time, especially because we've been out there. We've been going back. Well, I just started coming back and forth from Dublin to Madeira. So, but ever since this Corona thing hit, like I went straight out there, made sure that I was helping her at her office, and to make sure she's trying to be a little bit healthy, at least giving her vitamins and telling her to eat better and do things she needs to do to try to stay healthy. So to be able to be there and actually share all these like Mother's Day and any other holiday that might come has been amazing, because there's a lot of holidays that me and Stephanie miss because we've been in training camps, because we can't eat, because we can't go back home. And so to be able to actually spend all that time with them, and especially my mother, because we love her so much, it's been pretty amazing.
There you go. Hey, I know like you and everybody else in the whole world, they got a chance to watch live combat sports again. What was your whole take on the UFC being the first major promotion company to say, you know what, let's make this happen. Let's give the fans, let's give the fighters once again the opportunity to compete.
Oh man, it was amazing. Just to see fights again. Everybody was so excited. Like we like, oh my gosh, fights. And Stephanie is not the type to watch too many fights. She doesn't really care too much, but even she was excited. We were all like, what? There's a UFC this weekend? Oh my God. We were all glued to TV, and there were good fights too. So it was great to be able to say, oh, our sport was first. Like we came first. We did it first. So even though we weren't out there, it was great to like witness it. So it was cool. A little weird because there's no crowds, and that's what we're used to is fighting for the people, whether they're for us or against us. It's still energy, and we kind of feed off of that when we fight. But when there's nobody out there, it's kind of like crickets. But the fighters and us, we're still going to fight and enjoy it. So it was cool to see it.
Well, rumor has it in boxing anyways, they're supposed to start competing in late June and early July. Even Canelo Alvarez was supposedly going to be fighting on the 4th of July around that time. Knowing that it's going to be back in business, how excited are you to finally know that, hey, we're going to move forward and you get to do what you love?
Man, I'm so excited. Though I won't believe it until I actually am standing in front of somebody, because, 7 fights for a dog fall through is kind of like, well, when I'm looking at somebody across the cage or a ring, then I will be more than happy.
There you go. Well, Zoila, you're always a class act. You've always been a straight shooter, and I like the fact that you're comfortable. And I say you're comfortable because you let it fly. I appreciate that. I apologize for today with a little bit of technical difficulties. And once we clear all this up, man, or you get a fight date, we got to have you back on. We got to go visit you. We'll do what needs to be done. Or once we get that studio back up and running, we got to have both you and your sister back in studio.
For sure, because that's always fun, especially when it's me, Stephanie, you, and Cole. Man, we always have a good time, so it would be great.
No, it will be great. Hey, you know what? I want to thank you for being a part of all the month of May has been dedicated to all the women in MMA and in boxing in every shape or form. We have national anthem singers. We have Kelly Swanson, who's coming on in 2 weeks, who's the PR person for Floyd Money Mayweather. We got Raging Babe coming on tomorrow. We got all the women in MMA and in boxing. And I wanted to dedicate it because of Mother's Day. Even though they're not a mother, they came from a mother. And I'm taught because I have a daughter, and I hate women honestly being overlooked.
Yeah.
And that shit's dead. It's not going to happen again. It should be 50-50, not 51-49. I'll say it till I'm blind. 50-50 on this earth. So hey, I want to thank you for being a part of it. Any last words?
Let's do it. Don't forget to get my sister on too.
Oh, no. Hey, serious. We're working on that. We're going to do just that. And what's probably going to happen is everything's going to be on hit. When she's on, we're going to have a cleaner show. But it's all good.
Nice. Okay. Better. Perfect.
Hey, so what do you got to say to all your followers?
Stay healthy. I'm still fighting, so just pay close attention. So, because as soon as I know, I'll let everybody else know. And stay healthy, take care, and hug your loved ones, I guess, if you can, or if you're close to them. If you live with them, tell everybody that that you love, or that loves you, that you care. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So yeah, that's it.
Well, I know I'll be dropping on my taxes pretty soon.
Okay.
to Zoila's
Okay.
Tax Service in Madera, California, the best tax woman in the world. She'll take care of it. She'll do it honestly. She'll give her 100%, and she'll make it happen for you. That I got to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, and it's a wrap. As always, thumbs up for Richie. Appreciate you, Zoila.
See ya. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week.
Same when, same how.
And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of special guests and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.